Taiwan, I'm Yvonne Yang with news from here in Taiwan and around the world. Taiwan's minimum wage will be raised by $32 per month, but no one's really happy with that amount, Eric Gao reports.
Taiwan's Labor Ministry announced that the 2024 minimum wage will increase to $856 per month. That's a rise of $32. But some business and labor representatives say the decision did not take their interests into account.
所有的最后的结论都是专家学者跟政府官员做决定。我们资方的诉求也不会被接受，劳方的诉求也不会被接受。
The 4% increase is much higher than business owners had expected, as it puts pressure on their expenses. But it's still $17 short of what labor groups were calling for. Ahead of the meeting, labor groups gathered outside the ministry to voice their demands. They wanted the minimum wage to rise to $935 per month, a figure President Tsai Ing-wen said was her dream number in 2017. Labor Representative Zhang Jianxing says it's a standard set by the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development.
OECD 都已经提到了28,111块就是一个低薪的一个家庭我认为说不应该再让整个台湾的劳工大家处在一个这个低薪国家之内
Taiwan's minimum wage in 2013 was around $600. It has increased every year since 2016 by about 5%, but overall growth in the past decade has only been about $230. That growth barely covers high inflation. Impacted by the COVID-19 pandemic and the war in Ukraine, Taiwan's consumer price index last year hit a 14-year high. Labor rights groups say it makes more sense to base the minimum wage increase on inflation, and they say change needs to happen before President Tsai steps down.
在立法院最后一个会期要把这个最低工资法入法，不要让我们劳工每年来上街头
While the minimum wage increase will help ease the strain of inflation for laborers, there's still a long way to go for a full economic recovery. Alex Chen, Yujing Huang, and Eric Gao for Taiwan Plus.
Mobile chip company MediaTek has developed its first chip using semiconductor giant TSMC's advanced 3nm technology. MediaTek's chipset is planned to hit the market next year. It's designed for use in smartphones and intelligent cars, among other devices. This is a breakthrough for the company, which outsources production of its designs. MediaTek now joins Apple in gaining access to TSMC's highly guarded advanced 3nm technology. Demand for these chips is expected to rise. August was the world's hottest on record, making the summer of 2023 the planet's hottest summer since records began. Scientists say burning fossil fuel is the main reason for the climate crisis. Sari Jensen has more.
Hundreds of people in Thessaly needed to be rescued after what's been called the worst flood in Greece's history. Extreme rain in the country's agricultural hub brought down buildings and bridges, turning streets into deadly rivers and villages into lakes.
Η κατάσταση είναι δραματική. Το βλέπετε και οι ίδιοι με τα μάτια σας. Τα νερά είναι τόσο πολλά που δεν περιγράφεται.
Τα πιτσιρίκια μου τα έχει γειτόνισσα εκεί ψηλά. Δεν ξέρω. Ό,τι πιο δύσκολα έχω ζήσει.
The devastating floods followed record-breaking wildfires, a result of heat waves and drought, which can also make flooding worse as the soil becomes too hard to absorb heavy rainfall. This is just one of many instances of extreme weather seen around the world this week, and scientists say these events are turbocharged by global heating. They've confirmed that the summer of 2023 was the planet's hottest since records began. The 3-month period from June through August surpassed previous records by a large margin, with a global average summer temperature of 16.8 degrees Celsius, 0.66 degrees above the average of previous decades. And as the planet heats up, extreme weather becomes more intense, destructive, and unpredictable. Scientists say the global climate and ecological emergency is largely caused by burning fossil fuels, coal, oil, and gas, which releases greenhouse gases into the atmosphere.
as long as we continue to burn fossil fuels, these events will become more and more frequent. So we definitely have to get used to them. But if we don't stop burning fossil fuels soon, they might not be the new normal, but the new cool extremes.
Fossil fuel companies made profits in the hundreds of billions of dollars last year. And despite saying they're committed to lowering carbon emissions, few of them are effectively doing so. The people most vulnerable to the effects of the climate crisis are the least responsible.
Δυστυχώς φτάσαμε στο σημείο περαιτέρω. Γεμίσαν τα σπίτια μας νερά, τα χωράφια, οι περιουσίες των ανθρώπων χάθηκαν. Δεν ξέρω, είναι μια δύσκολη, πάρα πολύ δύσκολη χρονιά.
At the rate things are going, scientists say things could only get worse, and unless drastic changes are made, extreme weather will only bring on more disaster. Andy Scher and Sally Jensen for Taiwan Plus.
So how about a bit of grub with your grub? A German scientist has been working on using insects as an alternative source of protein. He hopes this will reduce greenhouse gas emissions and curb deforestation. Again, Sally Jensen has the story.
Pass the maggots, please. Scientists in Germany are plating up some delicious grubs. They're hoping it can be used to reduce planet-heating greenhouse gas emissions that come from raising animals for food.
And I see insects as a perfect tool to produce food and feed for aquaculture and also for livestock.
Don't worry, as appetizing as it looks, the research is not designed for human consumption. These scientists hope insect protein can replace soybeans in animal feed. Humans eating animals is one of the main causes of deforestation and climate change, and that's largely due to growing soy to feed livestock.
The large-scale growth of soybean is a major reason for the deforestation of the rainforest.
But it's still not viable to farm insects at scale, and producing this mealworm meal is still expensive compared to traditional soybean. But here, the scientists are hopeful.
Aside of the sustainability aspect, I see also a big business here. Industrial production of insect has become $1 billion business worldwide.
Until that day arrives, though, the most effective way to reduce greenhouse gas emissions is to curb our meat eating and plate up for the planet. Patrick Chen and Sally Jensen for Taiwan Plus.
Spanish mackerel populations are on the decline. The fish is popular on menus around the world. Now, researchers in Taiwan may have the beginnings of a solution. Bryn Thomas dives in.
A successful catch and a scientific breakthrough. It's a world first. Researchers from Taiwan's Ministry of Agriculture have worked with fishers to artificially inseminate Spanish mackerel. It's a breakthrough toward being able to spawn this fish in captivity, and it may prove to be a sea change for the species. But researchers say the fish still require large open spaces to grow strong and healthy, and they need to have some personal space without being crowded by their neighbors.
大咬小，咬得很厉害。我们后来把它抓上来看，其实有些鱼来讲，它肚子是吃饱的，但是吃饱它还会去咬它的同伴。
In Taiwan's outlying Penghu Islands, the fish is referred to as white gold. However, overfishing and climate change are decimating their numbers. Fishers are reporting record low catches and prices have climbed to record highs. That's why many people who rely on the sea are happy to hear about any breakthrough.
我们渔民也希望有鱼可以抓。当他们慢慢有成绩出来之后，我们就会觉得很开心。
Despite causing a splash, researchers say the new insemination technique is just a stepping stone, and that for the moment, large-scale farming, unlike the fish, is off the table. John Su and Bryn Thomas for Taiwan Plus.
Thank you for watching What's Up Taiwan. Remember to download the Taiwan Plus app for more stories from Taiwan and around the world. Finally, we leave you with images of 2 lion cubs making their first outing at a zoo near Paris, France. I'm Yvonne Young. Take care, and I'll see you next time.